You've done it. You've defeated some adversaries, you've roleplayed, and now you've hit that milestone. The time to level up in Daggerheart. Today, we're going to take a level 1 and a level 5 character and level them up one level and go through that process step by step, looking at all the options available to us. So let's get started. Here is our level 1 character that we're going to be going through the process of leveling up to level 2. So as you can see here, we have a rogue Nightwalker Underborn Simia that we made for one of our deep dive videos. Let's go over to the character sheet and guide and take a look at how we're going to level up. So as you can see here on our character guide, there's a section at the bottom for leveling up. So at level 2, we're going to gain an additional experience at +2 and gain a +1 bonus to our proficiency. So we're going to go back to our sheet. We're going to add that new experience, add a 2 for us, and we're going to increase our proficiency by 1. So we now have 2 proficiency. In addition to this, we get to select 2 options from the list below and mark them. So we can choose to get a +1 bonus to 2 unmarked character traits and then mark them, permanently gain 1 hit point slot, permanently gain 1 stress slot, permanently gain a +1 bonus to 2 experiences, and choose an additional domain card at your level or lower from a domain you have access to up to level 4, or we can gain a permanent +1 bonus to our evasion. At the end of that, we update our level and adjust our damage thresholds accordingly. Take an additional domain card from our level or lower from a domain that we have access to. So for this level up, I want to gain a permanent +1 bonus to my evasion, so I'm going to mark this, and I want to gain a +1 bonus to 2 unmarked character traits and then mark them. So let's go back to our character sheet and do that. First, we're going to take our evasion from a 14 to a 15. We are then going to mark our character traits. I'm going to go with finesse and strength. I do not want my negative in strength, and then we're going to take our finesse up to 3. All right, next step, going back to that character sheet, we're going to update our level and adjust our damage thresholds accordingly. So our damage thresholds are increased by 1 for each level we're at. So since we are now at level 2, they would go up by 2. Since we're going from level 1 to level 2, so this will be now 7 and 13. As we increase 1 level, the thresholds increase by 1. Last thing on our level up is we are going to choose our domain card from the ones that are available to us of our level or lower. So we are going to pick a level 1 or level 2 domain card from the Grace or Midnight domain. For this, we are going to say that we picked Shadowbind. So there we have it. We have taken our level 1 character and increased them to level 2. Not only did we increase a level, but we did increase a tier as well. At that tier, we increased our experiences and our proficiency, and for our level, we increased our ability scores and our evasion. We also gained our new domain card, picking from the Midnight domain. Now, what if we're not going up a tier? What if we're just going up a normal level? Let's take a look at our level 5 character and increase it to level 6. Here is our level 5 Rogue Nightwalker Underborn Simia that we are going to be using to level up to level 6. Now, this is now a tier 3 character. You get a couple different options on your level up sheet when you go from levels 4 to 5. As you go to that tier, you are going to see that you can now upgrade your subclass card, increase your proficiency by 1, and multiclass. We will go over these in a minute, but I wanted to talk about the subclass card really fast. When you select your subclass, you are given the foundation feature for that subclass. In order to get either your specialization or your mastery feature, you need to upgrade your subclass card. So with your first upgrade, you are going to go from foundation to specialization, and then if you select the second upgrade, you'll go from specialization to mastery. So for specialization, I get Dark Cloud. Make a spellcast roll 15 on a success. Create a temporary dark cloud that covers an area within close range. So this is something that I wanted to pick up for my character, so I did select it first thing when I went from levels 4 to level 5. Now that we're looking at going from levels 5 to level 6, we can also look at these other 2 options. Now, these darker squares require both of your upgrade options in order to check it. So to increase my proficiency by 1, or it's a multi-class, I have to spend both of my options for my level up for that level. For example, if I wanted to increase my proficiency by 1, I would mark this. This would be the only thing that I would mark at this level, and I would increase my proficiency by 1. If I didn't want to burn both of my options, I could not mark that and then select, say, gain 1 hit point slot and then gain a +1 bonus to 2 of my experiences. So if I was doing that, I would outline this HP slot and then increase my 2 experiences by +1. So if I wanted to go to a 4 and then say pick up another 3, that would be a perfectly reasonable level up going 5 to level 6. No matter which options you pick, the end of level up is always going to be the same. You're going to pick a domain card that is available to you from your level or lower, and you're going to increase your level on your character sheet and then also up your damage thresholds. Now, let's talk about multiclassing and how it interacts with our upgraded subclass card. When I take the upgraded subclass card, I should be crossing out the multiclass option for this tier. So this goes bye-bye. If you choose the multi-class, you will never get the mastery feature for any of the subclasses, no matter if you get to level 10 or not. But with multi-class, what does that look like? Let's take a look at it. We went back to our level 5 level up and removed our upgrading of our subclass. We added a hit point instead. So now that we get to level 6, we do now have the option to multi-class. So when you select the multi-class, you will select which class you want. The one that I want is the warrior. So we're going to select that. Once you've selected your class, you're going to need to select which domain that you are going to want access to. I'm going to select the blade domain for this rogue, and then you are going to choose a foundation. The one I'm going to go with is Call of the Brave, because when you roll with fear, you gain hope. And additionally, you have Battle Ritual. When you do something incredibly dangerous, which my Nightwalker rogue loves to do, I'm able to describe how I prepare and clear 2 stress and gain 2 hope. So that is what I'm going to multiclass to. Now I get to select my domain card for this level, and you'll see I now have access to the blade domain cards. The highest ones I have access to are going to be half my level rounded up. So at level 6, half my level is 3. We now have access to Versatile Fighter and Scramble from the Blade domain. For this level up, I am going to select Scramble. So once per rest, when a creature within melee range would deal damage to me, I can avoid the attack and safely move out of melee range from the enemy. Now, if you were here for my Rogue Deep Dive video, if all of a sudden I go with, say, the Whip and Crossbow build, the Whip is going to help knock creatures out of melee, but if they come back in with Scramble, when they swing at me, I can then get out of melee range again to attack with my crossbow. And on our character guide, we did adjust this, so this is appropriate. This is what we took at level 5, and then at level 6, we did go into the multi-class. Our character sheet for our now level 6 Nightwalker Underborn Simia Rogue. You're going to have your main class and subclass right here on your main page. You're going to have cards for both your subclasses here, and then you're going to have a whole separate sheet for your multi-class that you can actually lay next to your character sheet. This is going to have your warrior abilities, this is going to have your additional domain, and then your multi-class feature, so your character sheet doesn't get too claustrophobic. We have now leveled up the character that we created twice, once from level 1 to level 2, and then from level 5 to level 6. We can see the options that we get when we go from tier 1 to tier 2, and also the options we have available to us starting at tier 3 with proficiency as well as multiclassing. As an alternative to multiclassing, we can also upgrade our subclass, going from our foundation feature to our specialization feature. You are never going to be able to select all the options available to you at each tier of play, so each character you create is going to be uniquely different. Are you going to go for all hit point slots? Or are you going to max out your evasion? Are you going to go after all your character traits, getting them as high as possible? Or are you really interested in multiclassing? I want to know what fun characters you're creating down in the comments. What part of Daggerheart's leveling up do you really enjoy? What just doesn't click with you? I want to hear all of it. I've really appreciated all the support that you've given me by either watching my videos, liking them, or subscribing to them. Your comments have meant the world to me, and interacting with you so far over something that I'm really enjoying, like Daggerheart, has been great. We got more great Daggerheart videos on the horizon. We have the deep dive into the Bard, as well as the subclass tier list, which is going to go over every single subclass available in the core rulebook and rank them. Thank you all for joining me today. We'll see you next time.